Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a story time for you guys. I'm going to be coughing periodically in this video because I have a very dry cough, and like every time I talk, if like air touches my throat, it starts to like tickle it, and then I start choking and coughing, whatever. So this video is going to be about my last job that I had. I worked at also, it's going to be about how I got my manager fired. So, yeah, that's some tea. Anywho, so yeah, I worked at Ricky's NYC, and there's three. There's a bunch of different locations, but anyways, so I worked at Ricky's NYC, and they also have a location, one I think in California and one in Miami. And when I first started Ricky's, I was like, like I don't know if I want to work here because it's retail, and I heard like negative things about retail or whatever, and I was just like, iffy about it, but whatever. I worked there for almost 2 years, and I freaking hated it. Like I worked at two different locations. The first location I worked at, I hated the store manager. When she first met me, she was like, first of all, she didn't hire me. It was an assistant manager. She's a store manager. The store manager goes, "Oh, so are me, you gonna have a problem?" And I was like, "No." Like, I looked at her like, "Bitch, like, why would you say that? Like, why would we have a problem?" So I took that as like a really big red flag, right? And as time went on, I only worked at that location for 6 weeks, I think. And basically, it's like she kept nitpicking at me for like everything. Like, she would pick at me for not talking a lot, not engaging with customers, and I didn't have much product knowledge on the products in the store. So it's like, what can I really say? So I only stood in areas that I knew, which was like the makeup area, because hello. So she would gossip about me to the staff and be like, "Oh, she doesn't talk, blah blah blah." And they were trying to get on like, "You have to talk, you have to sell stuff." Mind you, I'm not getting no commission, so I'm like, better like no. And um whatchamacallit, so people would come to me and be like, "Yeah, she said this, she said that," and it was true. And she would also pick on me because of my weight, because I'm very petite, very tiny. And I remember one time when we were all getting ready to leave because it was a closing shift, and I had my jacket on, but it wasn't zipped up. So she was like, "Oh, okay, is everybody ready to leave?" And she was like, "Oh, Shayna, are you gonna put your coat on?" And basically, she was like, "Oh, Shayna gotta get her jacket on because the wind is gonna blow her away." And I'm just like, as a manager, you shouldn't be talking to your staff like that. Like, you're teasing me, I don't like it. But I take things, like I take, and I'm kind of just like, okay. Like, I keep a mental note of it because I'm like, okay. So, yeah, so I heard that, she was talking about me or whatever. And I would go to HR about it because, people say that HR is supposed to help you. They don't. So I went to HR, and I feel like when it came to like HR, like they weren't really like doing much. Like they would push it away and like, yeah, like, "Oh, we'll fix it," and they wouldn't fix it. So eventually, first I wanted to quit, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that because I'm the type of person where like, if I don't get along with staff, I'll quit right away. But I try to toughen it out because I need to get that money. So what I did was I had them transfer me to another location, which was in like Lower Manhattan. And I went there and I worked there for, okay, so the first location I worked at for 6 weeks, and then after that I worked at the second location for like almost 2 years. And the staff was perfect, everything was perfect, I got along with everybody, like it was phenomenal. Then after that, I check my phone. I hate people. Anyways, so so yeah, everything was like peaches and cream, everything was good. And then after that, what happened? My store manager was a guy, and like me and him were like this. But when I wasn't there, he would talk about me too. Like he would talk about me to other people. And like the one thing that I didn't like was that they always had like their little like cliques, and like they would hang out outside of work and they would not include me, and that used to really bother me. So the way I would find out was when one of the staff was like, oh yeah, such and such had a party and like everybody was invited but me and you. And I was like, really? I didn't know about that. So I felt a type of way. Come to find out, my manager was like, oh, because you know, Shayna doesn't seem like the type to want to hang out with people, and basically implying that I'm stuck up. And I'm just like I don't really know what makes him think I'm stuck up. And for a guy as a manager to talk about that about a female is very weird. I never addressed him on it. I kind of just left it alone because I'm like, you know what, it's cool, it's cool, I got you. So that was another thing that I didn't like about working there. And this is just based off of like experience, because I know every store is different, but over time I realized that the company as a whole is trash, at least the New York City area. Corporate sucks. So eventually they moved him to a different location, so now he wasn't my store manager anymore. So that really sucked because he was very like, he gave me the schedule that I wanted. I got all the hours, I was making decent money. And as soon as he left, we got a new manager, a female, and my hours started to lower so much. And what would make me mad was that like there were people that were working at that location or for the company for like 4 years straight, or more, and they were always late. They wouldn't do things that they were told. You had to tell them to do things in order for them to get it done. Whereas for me, you don't have to tell me. Like, I already know what I gotta do. I come to work, I know what I gotta do. If I don't, I ask and I just do it. Like, so yeah. And I noticed that like she had like favorites, so there was like some favoritism. And she noticed how I was someone who wouldn't normally like speak up. Like, it's kind of like if she told me to do something, I would do it. But that's just because like you're my boss, and like I'm gonna listen to you. You gave me the hours, I'm working, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just know how to act. And I feel like she took advantage of that. So over time, what I noticed is that like people would always sit in the front of the store and just talk and gossip, whatever. And I would be a part of that, but then she'll have her moments where she's like, no, we can't do that, corporate is watching us and you guys have to do everything and do this and do that. And I'm like, why is she acting like that? And then she would have me do things a lot, like clean up the makeup station, stock room, stocking up shelves, just a little bit of everything. I was doing a little bit of everything, a little bit of manager stuff. Like, I was open, but that's because I wanted to get promoted. And that's another thing, they didn't promote me. Also, what else? Oh, so yeah, it got to the point where I would still see everyone, you know, lollygagging in front of the store, and I'm still moving around. And I, you know, I got tired of that. I was just sitting there, and I was just like, I'm chilling now. Like, they're not doing anything, I'm not gonna do anything. And she would always be like, oh, Shannon, can you do this? Shannon, can you carry this? I'm lifting up boxes. I'm tiny, I can't carry heavy stuff, but I made it work. Nobody would help me. And as time went on, I just noticed that she started to really like take advantage. Like, I know I'm a good worker, but you're doing too much. Like, you're really doing too much. And when it came towards inventory, around that time, like, she started to cut my hours OD. Like, I used to work 5 days, then she cut it to 3, then she would cut it to 2. And I remember one time I only worked 1 day, and I was like, you're wild, like you're bugging out. So I went to corporate, I went to HR, and I was like, hey, like I don't know why she's only like, if you look at the schedules, like you see how I went from 5 days to like almost none, and it's like, why am I working here if that's the case? And everyone else is getting more hours than me, coming in late. Like I would literally pay attention to when people clocked in and clocked out. I would really be telling on people. I would go to HR, like, you know, she's not being fair. So HR was like, okay, so write a written statement about every single thing that she's doing. So I'm like, are you serious? Like I can't just type it. They're like, no, you have to handwritten. You know how long that took me? It was like 6 pages front and back. Okay. And she used to constantly talk about the staff, and then when they were around be like, oh hey, what's up, and I'm just like, why is she doing that? Mind you, they're getting all the hours, coming in late, and I'm not getting nothing. So I didn't like that. Then she would come into work high, you know, smoking weed, and I would just be like, that shouldn't be happening. And then she wouldn't clock in the time that she actually came in on top of that. So, you know, I was on it. Like I'm someone where like I won't make it obvious that I'm paying attention. You will not know I'm paying attention. Like I could be looking over here and I'm looking at you right now and what you're doing. I pay attention to everything. So I was real low-key. So I was like, all right, you're gonna do that, cool. Inventory came, and this was last year, like around Christmas time. Yes, inventory is like after Christmas or before Christmas, something like that. It was Christmas Eve, the day before. Well, okay, no. So we're getting for inventory, and we have to organize the drawers a certain way. We have to make sure, we have to take out the damaged products, keep everything that's good in the system, get rid of the damaged products, and then we have to count each piece. Bro, that's a lot. So of course she sectioned me to the makeup section, which is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of NYX cosmetics, that included nail polish, which was a lot. We had a lot of nail polish. It included hair extensions. It included what else did it include? Skincare stuff like that were in the front. And I had help with 2 other people, but I did most of the work. Mind you, I'm not getting much hours, so that really bothered me, right? So we were open Christmas Eve, and I was just like, I don't want to work Christmas Eve. I want to be with my mom. Like this job like works me to death. I don't want to be here. So I had my mom write me a doctor's note because she's a nurse, so easy peasy lemon squeezy. And you know, the hookups. Thank you, mom. And you know, from what is stated in the booklet of when you're hired is basically, as far as absences go, if you're gonna be out 2 consecutive days, I think without notice it's like a write-up, but if you have a note then you're fine. I had a note, right, and I wrote it via text message to the assistant manager on duty that day. And well, the day before, and I was like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to come in because of blah blah blah, I have a note. I took a picture of it, sent it to her and everything. She went and told my store manager, right? Word got around that she was like, oh, Shayna isn't here for inventory, I'm gonna write her up. I was like, first of all, Christmas Eve isn't inventory. Inventory isn't until after Christmas.
Really,
so
nigga?
What are you talking about? So anyways, I was like, alright, so she's pretty much bullying me and threatening me for no apparent reason when I have a note. And technically I didn't even have to have a note because I was only absent 1 day. You know what I mean? So I was just like, that makes no sense. So I come in the day after, actually the day after was Christmas, and then I come in after that. Inventory was the 26th of December last year. And I came in with a note, and then as soon as I come in through the door, she goes, do you have the note? Do you have the note? I'm like, bitch, yes, I have the note. Smacked in the face. And do I have a piece of paper? No, but if I had a piece of paper, I would be dramatic and do that. So I gave it to her. And then I heard that also she was going around telling people, oh, that the reason why she was cutting my hours is because I would talk shit about my store manager, basically. And I'm just like, talk about you to who? Like, I was like, bro, like these people be moving funny. Like, so I'm like, so you really cut my hours because of things you hear? Like, you're a store manager. Who does that? Like, you know. So, you know, I told corporate all of this stuff because it's a form of bullying. And she had a meeting with corporate, and corporate was like, if she still acts the way she acts after the meeting, let us know. I told them. Because one day she came into work and she was just like, oh, I'm here on time, just in case anyone wants to go to HR and tell them, like throwing subliminals. And I was just like, all right, you had a meeting, you went to HR, you went to corporate. Why would you put yourself in this situation where you could possibly get in more trouble, you idiot? So, anywho, inventory comes, I come in, and I had a fit that day. Like, I had the only attitude. And she was like, oh, Shanna, can you come downstairs, please? I was like, sure. So I come downstairs or whatever, and I talk to her. I was like, yeah, I feel a type of way because I'm hearing that you said this, blah, 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 blah. She's like, who said that? I told her. And she was like, oh. She's like, yeah, I said that, but now I know I can't say things around her, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, you shouldn't be talking about people, period. So she's like, I'm not gonna write you up because you have the no. Well, and I was just like, you weren't even supposed to write me up. So now after that, one of the assistant managers gives me another note saying that the note said, oh, at this time, Shayna and such was behind the register talking for this amount of time while there were customers in the store and they weren't helping. Oh no, actually no, not they. And Shayna wasn't helping. And I was like, what? Mind you, like the location that I worked at was a very slow location. So it's like you had to be doing something every second, but there's literally nothing to do. So it's like I'm cleaning the same spot over and over and over and over and over. And it's so freaking clean. I'm doing the same thing over and over. And at one point I stopped. I was behind the register in the drawers and looking at the register to making sure everything is good. So if they're talking about that one period of time when I wasn't doing anything and my employee was next to me and we were talking, then it's like really, like I felt like, all right, so now corporate is trying to nitpick at me. I bet. So yeah, I got a note for the assistant manager. There's 3 assistant managers, but from one of them, she was like, yeah, you just have to sign this. I was like, is anyone else getting this? She was like, no, it's just because corporate is really on us now and they want us to be, you know, doing something every second. I'm like, okay, but everybody else be standing around. And the moment that I'm actually doing things and I stand for a second, I get this little paper. I was like, I'm not signing that. I was like, actually, no, give it to me. So I took it, I took a picture. I was like, I'm not signing that. It was just like one thing after another, and I'm just like, why am I getting treated like this? Literally only been absent 4 times in the approximate 2-year span, almost 2 years of being there. And I was always reliable. I came to work on time. In a rare case, I didn't come to work on time because the train was acting crazy. But other than that, I always came to work on time. So why y'all picking at me? Y'all always rely on me when it comes to product knowledge on makeup, when customers need help with makeup, putting things away, organizing makeup. Y'all trust me with that. Y'all know I'm good in what I do. Why are y'all treating me like, you know what I mean? So yeah, so now this comes now January, February. Okay, so my store manager and I had like beef, so we wouldn't really talk like that. Like she would just talk to me to tell me to do something and that was it. So I was just like, all right, whatever. Mind you, me and her used to be tight. I don't know what got into her, but I think she's the kind of person where like if you speak up for yourself, she's kind of just like she don't like it, and it's just like, I don't care. Like I'm that one person, that one staff member that like if you treat me a certain way, I'm not gonna just be quiet. Like I'm gonna say something, and I don't think she liked that. But anywho, so so what happened? Oh yeah, so she was still giving me like, you know, crappy shifts like twice a week, maybe 3 days, maybe once. And it just got to the point where I was just like, why am I even gonna work here anymore? Like y'all not even giving me hours. It's like I'm not even here. Like I would be out of work for days and then I'll come back and I'll just be like, I still work here, you know? So My nose is stuffy. So one day she just she doesn't come in, and then she doesn't come in again, and then she doesn't come in again. And I was like, hey, the assistant manager's name starts with a C. So like, hey, what happened to such and such? And she was like, oh, she's no longer with the company, she quit. I was like,
drip too hard, don't stand too close. You gon' fuck around and drown off this way. Doing all these shows, I've been on the road. I don't care where I go, long as I get paid. Bad look.
thank you, because she had to go. It was about time. But she kept saying like, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna quit. I can't wait to quit. And I helped her quit. So I was violating, like, I written in my statement that, okay, she smokes, she bullies people, she used to talk about gay people. Like, I remember one time this couple came into work, and she addressed one of the girls as a butch, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, well, you know, she's already beefing with me, she's not giving me the schedule that I deserve, and she's treating me like crap, so I'm gonna throw her under the bus, because that's how I am. It's like, when me or you are good, we're good, but once you, like, backstab me, it's a wrap. Like, so petty status went straight up. So, you know, I literally just like spilled everything, like how she's unfair, how she clocks in at the time that she claims she's in work when she's not. She'll step out on lunch break, not clock out, come in to work high. It was a lot, but anywho, that's my experience with Ricky's, and I don't like them. And the people that work there, corporate sucks, HR sucks, and that's my experience. And I got my manager to quit, or I got her fired. So anyways, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoy this story time. Don't forget to give this video a like if you like it. Also, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. It will be the bell button on my channel by my subscribe button. And follow me on my social media, my Snapchat and my Instagram. I'll leave them up here as always. And I will see you in my next video.